Welcome in to another post-game show here on the Desert Sands Educational Foundation web pages, and of course, our good friends at CoachellaValley.com, Prep Sports Net, you name it. Welcome in to another Friday night with one another in this post-game glow of the Friday Night Lights. I'm Kevin Pillow at Voice of Reason 23, also at Prep Sports _net, host of the Prep Sports Net show that hopefully will be coming soon. Not the night that a lot of schools thought that they were going to have. Very disappointing night for a lot of teams. Very happy for one team. That's right. 6 teams enter, only one survived. And we will get to some of the news and notes. To let you in a little secret, it's kind of a one-man operation around here with Prep Sports Net. It's yours truly. Been doing this since about 2016. I've been covering high school sports since 2012, at least here in the Coachella Valley. Actually, probably even longer than that. Take that back. I've been covering high school sports probably since about 2007 here in the Valley. Covered high school sports in Orange County from 04 through 04 and 05, covering the Freeway League. And I've gotten to see a lot of high school football, and this was a rough night. And yeah, so it's a one-man operation. So don't have a lot of video highlights. We're trying to get them more. And if you've got video highlights of games that you want to submit, you can do so by emailing it to us, official prepsportsnet@gmail.com. And we'll get some of your video highlights on the air. Let's talk about probably one of the most, I don't want to say controversial games, but let's talk about the Indio and Montebello game. Had ourselves a bit of a dogfight early on. Indio's first drive ate up 10 minutes. 10 minutes of play clock. Absolutely in control of this game. It was amazing how quickly Indio was able to eat up clock. And yet they took a 7-6 deficit into the half. They scored a touchdown at the end of that 10-minute drive, and a bad snap leads to a missed extra point, something that Javier Araujo had not done, I believe, all season. I tell you that maybe he missed one. So then they come back down, they march downfield, they score, they go to the halftime 7-6. Trade some blows in the second half, and some controversial calls throughout the game, including a pass that was completed to Alejandro Munoz that would have given the Rajas a huge first down late in the third quarter. It was ruled incomplete after being ruled complete by 3 officials, and yet was overturned by the Whitecap, who was 30 yards away from the play. Now, the play in question, I saw the replay. Alejandro makes the catch, and as he's going down, his knees hit. He's in control of the ball. He is in complete control of the football. His knees go down, and as he's going down, the ball does come loose. It bounces off the ground, which at this point, his knees have been down, and he's in control of the football, and his knees are down. And as his body continues to go to the ground, the ball comes loose and essentially fumbles back into his chest. Now, some will argue that maybe he didn't have complete control of the ball. But when his knees hit the ground, he made the catch and he kind of fell to his knees. And when his knees hit the ground and his body continued to fall towards the ground, the ball came loose. And the officials tried to argue that he had complete control of the ball, and that the blunt force of the knees hitting the ground is what jarred the ball loose, and that it was a fumble then recovered by himself. But the Whitecap, who was 30 yards away from the play, ruled it an incomplete pass. That was probably one of the biggest plays, but there's no excuse. The Rajas twice had the ball inside the 5 and could not score. Now, again, one will argue that one of the plays, Fabian Garcia did break the plane, but was ruled down at the 1. But tough night for Indio. They do break one free, seemingly clinching the game on a 60-yard scamper by Fabian Garcia, but left a minute and 10 seconds on the clock, and allowed the and then of course Garcia goes in, and then they mix the extra point, which proved crucial. And with about what was it? I think it was about 30 seconds left. They took it to the house for about 50 yards and answered right back. And then the Rajas couldn't answer back. They attempted I believe, 45-yard field goal at the end of regulation, but it missed by about 20 yards. I've said this all year that Javier Araujo is probably one of the best players on the Rajas team, and is a very good kicker that just needs some finessing. But he had a bad night, real bad night, and I feel bad for the kid. He's a good player, but misses a crucial, 2 crucial extra points and a missed field goal. Rajas lose in overtime 22-21. I said crucial extra point. Misses the extra point in overtime. The Oilers made theirs. They walk away with the victory. They will take on the number 1 seed Lancaster, most likely at home next week. But we were trying to think about that today, is whether or not they still do the coin toss every single round now, or if they just do it when they have a mismatch. And what I mean by mismatch is, if Indio would have won tonight, and of course Lancaster, who did win, both were home teams, that's when there would be a coin toss, despite the fact that Lancaster is the top seed. If it's 2 home, that's at least that's the way it was back in my day, where if you had 2 home teams win, then you went to a coin flip. But that I don't know if that, again, I don't know. Sorry, I know you guys want to see my pretty eyes better than my glasses, but yeah, I don't know exactly how that will take place. So nonetheless, Lancaster, Montebello, second round of the Division 12 CIF Southern Section playoffs. Game across town in Coachella, not nearly as good either. And I'll put the bottom. I'm going to put the bottom line here, scoring here in just a second. I know some of you guys want to see it. I know you probably don't want to stay up, but Coachella absolutely outmatched. A lot of people said that this was going to be the most evenly matched game in the postseason. It proved to probably be the biggest mismatch outside of the San Juan Hills Palm Desert game. I will say this about the Coachella game. Hand it to the young man who had been out for the last couple of weeks. Actually got to play in this game. I think scored Coachella's only touchdown in the game. I just had his name. I apologize. But rough night for the Arabs. And I know that they probably would have liked to have that game back, but I think that last week's game against Indio took a lot out of them. And I also think it also probably exposed a lot of weaknesses, both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. If you have any questions, hit us in the comment section below. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook Watch, comment section below. Let us know what we're doing. If you got any questions, if you're watching on Twitter, hit us a tweet at prepsports_net. Use the hashtag DSEF Postgame. And if you have any questions, we will get them on the air. As you can see on the bottom line, a good old-fashioned shootout in La Quinta that saw the Blackhawks win 61-47 against Granite Hills. We mentioned before the Aztecs of Palm Desert lose 35. Was it 35 was the final? 35-0 on the road. They lose to San Juan Hills, the number 1 seed. Palm Springs came up short, 28-24 at home. They lose to Paloma Valley. And Yucca Valley on the road against South Pasadena. They lose 43-25. Yucca Valley's a good team. And it was really unfortunate. I heard a bunch of different stories about what happened last week. Apparently, there was 2 stories. One was that that there was an incident in town outside of the school campuses between 29 Palms and Yucca Valley. And that the incident at school between Yucca students was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. And the incident took place on campus, led the San Bernardino County Sheriffs to cancel the bell game between Yucca and 29. Now, a lot of people, because it was Yucca Valley that essentially pushed the game over the edge to get canceled, should have been hit with a forfeit, but that was not the case. They was declared a no contest. Yucca kept the bell. I think that's who that has it. But yeah, rough night. Got a tweet from Ernie in Palm Springs. Rough night for Palm Springs, up 17-0 at one point, lose 28-24. Yeah, Ernie, that was a rough one. I thought the Indians had a pretty solid team. I know they were missing a couple of key players, but you can't win them all. And, I know this will be a controversial comment to make. And I was never really a big fan of it at the time, but I'm seeing the advantage is the old Dan Armstrong way of coaching. And what I mean by that, Dan Armstrong, the legendary head coach at La Quinta High School, used to schedule a ton of teams in the preseason from Orange County, LA, and he would get big schools. He'd go play Santa Margarita. He'd play, if he could, he'd schedule St. John Bosco if he could. If he was still out here, I bet you he'd try to coach to schedule Corona Centennial. By the way, we will look at that schedule bracket just for sake of argument, because it's a good one. It's going to be a barn burner. But yeah, I'm starting to think, it's showing itself that this this valley needs to think outside the box, and I would be really, the coach over at Palm Desert has done a pretty good job at that. I would not be surprised if La Quinta goes back that direction. I would not be surprised if Coach Murphy goes that direction with Palm Springs. I could see after maybe a bounce back couple of years, Rancho Mirage could do that. I would see, I could see Coach over at Xavier Prep. Like I said, a few years, I could see Zero doing it. Coach Zero over at Indio. But it needs to be done. Yeah, they need to play some more tougher opponents, not just amongst each other. And I get the tradition, especially like Coachella, playing the Bell game, playing the Date Bowl game. La Quinta playing the flag game and playing the Mike Gates game, and the or I would say La Quinta Palm Springs playing the Mike Gates game, Palm Desert playing the Mercury Bowl, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if they really call it that anymore, but La Quinta, at least for both in both instances, or for most instances, the rivalry games are in league, so you're not wasting a non-league game. But I definitely will see. I could definitely see. What's it called? Schools like La Quinta, like Palm Desert, going outside, thinking outside the box, and going for more tougher opponents. Suresh Raul, thank you for the Facebook like. Thank you. Really appreciate that. We are streaming live on CoachellaValley.com. And thanks, Craig Campbell, as always. Don't forget, folks, tickets are still available. You can buy them, I believe, at the box office or the pickup location, wherever everyone goes. Just go over to the Desert Sands Educational Foundation section. You go to Desert Sands website, Desert Sands University School District website, or you can follow at Desert Sands EF on Twitter for upcoming events, including this Sunday's Foundation Express. Should be a lot of fun. I will be there. You have a chance to meet me if you go. That is worth the price of admission alone. And hello, everybody watching us on Facebook. What's going on? If you got any questions, put them in the comment section below. Yucca Valley, I'd tell you one thing. That was actually a shocker against South Pasadena. Yeah, that was that was. I honestly thought that South Pasadena was going to blow them out. Let us know what you thought of your guys' games if you were out there watching those Friday Night Lights. Not much else, really and truly, I can say about tonight, other than a job well done by La Quinta, keeping their composure and just playing a heck of a football game. To be honest, that was a game that I saw that game going a lot differently. I know that La Quinta drawing the number 1 seed. I just didn't know. I knew La Quinta was good, but I didn't know if they were that good. And I will throw myself on the sword. I will lay myself below the mercy of the court, saying, "I'm sorry, La Quinta. I'm sorry I second guessed you, but job well done." Obviously they stepped up the plate, won the flag back against Palm Desert, proved themselves against La Quinta and Shadow Hills and Palm Springs. And deserved a share of the league championship. They did a great job, and I think that they can make a run in this particular championship. Take a look at the road for La Quinta. See if I can bring up those brackets. So let's give me 1 second. I'll bring it up here, guys, for you, and then we'll take a look as we close things out. We'll close things out with a look at the Division 1 bracket. So let's take a look at the bracket here for Division 9, and definitely doesn't get any easier. You got Laguna Beach, tentatively scheduled for at home. We'll see what happens if it is going to be that way. Well, take that back. Laguna Beach had to play on the road. La Quinta, no, those were both home games. I apologize. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Garden Grove and Norte Vista, Tockwitz and San Dimas, Hillcrest and Diamond Bar. Yeah, you'd have to do a little. I'd have to do a little research to see common opponents between Laguna Beach and La Quinta. But I'm telling you, La Quinta, if they keep it up, this is a team that can go to the next. They could easily go to the next round, and from there, we'll see what happens. So, job well done by La Quinta. Let's see if they have that. If they have a update on that. So you got Laguna Beach is 8-3 on the year with the win tonight against West High School, and La Quinta improved to 7-4. And I think this is going to go to a coin toss. We'll have to wait and see. But there's some of the breakdown of this game. You guys looking for some stats there? So both are pretty evenly matched, except for the non-league. 2-3 for La Quinta, 4-3 for Laguna Beach. Common opponent, they don't have any. They didn't go head to head. So, and the only thing at Laguna Beach there, they played out of state. Let's take a look at their schedule. Take a look at who they played. So they played Homedale from Idaho, lose 46-14. They played Dana Hills, lose. Northwood, win. Capistrano Valley Christian, win. Crean Lutheran, lose. Lakeside, win. Sergestrom, good school, blowout, win. Godinez Fundamental, Westminster, and Ocean View to wrap things up. That's a good program. Laguna Beach, that's a good school. So this could be trouble for La Quinta. I think La Quinta's got a pretty tough I don't know. La Quinta's going to have their hands full. They'll have their hands full. I still think La Quinta's got it. Let us know in the comment section below what you guys think about La Quinta's chances. Let us know about your team. Are there changes that you'd like to see made? Are there things you'd like to see done differently? Are there I don't know. What do you guys want to see done? There's a look at the brackets, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Get that in the frame here. That's the Division 1. I want to talk about that for a second. Keep it positive, but don't do too crazy negative. But is there something you guys would like to see done differently? Is there things you guys would like to see changed? I think there has been a tremendous positive change for Indio High School. I think there has been there's a lot of question marks at Shadow Hills. I think that I think Xavier, was just a down year. Rancho Mirage, definitely a down year. Desert Hot Springs, things are changing a bit. DM, I'm nervous about that program. Coachella, can they continue to produce athletes? I think that one of the reasons why Desert Mirage is down is because CV is successful. I really think that there are kids that are going to Coachella that should be going to Desert Mirage. I think there's kids that are going to Coachella that should be going to Indio, which is really unfortunate. But really cool to see La Quinta bounce back. That's huge, and it's really disappointing because I think that Patrick Rivenis was a great coach. I don't think he fully got the chances that he needed. I think if you would have given him this year, I think he would have gotten you the same results. Not to take anything away from the coach this year, who has done a fabulous job. But I think Pat needed one more year, and I talked to a lot of people that wholeheartedly agree. So yeah, let's take a look for giggles and grins. Let's take a look at Division I. These are the big boys. These are the guys you'll be seeing playing on Saturdays, and most likely some point on Sundays. Now, a lot of this was a controversial bracket this year because typically the 1 and the 2 seed are the ones that get the first round bye. But as you can tell, there were 6 games with no contest. Mater Dei gets an automatic first round bye. Long Beach Poly, automatic first round bye. Los Al, first round bye. Corona Centennial, first round bye. Mission Viejo, first round bye. St. John Bosco, first round bye. Only 2 games played in D1. Santa Margarita, J. Serra, go to a shootout. 27-20. Unbelievable in that game. Take a look at that one. 6-4, 6-5, pretty good. But they both played each other already. They both played in the Trinity League. And then you have Edison, who nearly knocks off Orange Lutheran. Orange Lutheran gets an at-large bid out of the Trinity League. Edison comes in second to the in the Sunset League. And Orange Lutheran, they'll go on. They'll take on St. John Bosco next week. Both of them from the Trinity League. So you have pretty much a league running this division. And I think a lot of that has to do with they have done everything they can to placate to these elite schools. Now, I know that Corona Centennial is not in the Trinity League. As you can see, Mission Viejo's in the South Coast and Centennial in the Big West North for football only. So I think they made that change. The conference that they're in for sports is pretty weak. And outside of football, from what I've been told, is that it's not as strong of a program. So they needed to make that change. And you see a lot, you've seen schools do that. I've seen that before. Long Beach Poly, glad to see them making a bounce back. So Long Beach Poly, the undefeated league champions of the Moore League, against the Sunset number 1, Los Alamitos. This could be big. J. Serra, 6-5, third place in the Trinity League, taking on Mater Dei. there's a lot of people calling for this division to get broken up. But what are you going to do? Are you going to send any of these schools to another division? I mean, I looked up because, my mom went to Edison's rival, Fountain Valley High School. So I was looking them up this week. Edison is just steamrolling people. Orange Lutheran's probably not the team it was back in the early 2000s and the late 90s. But still a good school. Bosco is a national powerhouse. They're down taking on AMG Academy, I think, this year. They traveled to Oregon, played at Autzen Stadium. Corona Centennial is a beast. Pretty much runs the IE. Long Beach Poly, I could say that. Long Beach Poly is a legendary school. Long Beach Poly is basically USC high school. For years. If you were a jackrabbit, you went to Long Beach City College, put in 2 years, went to USC. That was the feeder system for Pete Carroll back in the 2000s, early 2000s. Go to Long Beach Poly, go to Long Beach City College, go to USC. A lot of jackrabbits went to USC. Glad to see Long Beach Poly is back to the promised land. Los Al, it's a tough school. Mater Dei has had a extremely checkered last couple of years. With coaches and controversy on and off the field. But glad to see that they've bounced back. A lot of people were probably rooting against them, but nonetheless. Coach Catamble, what's going on, Richie? Thanks for the thumbs up. Richie Catamble, great guy. If I could stop football for a second. If I could talk about a coach, and this is no disrespect to any of the other coaches across the pantheon of sports here in the Coachella Valley, but I can attest to this and see it firsthand. If there is a coach that will live and die for his student athletes, it's Richie Catamble. Went to Indio, coached at Indio, learned under an avalanche of legends at Indio High School. Coach Jahola, Coach Thompson, the list goes on and on. And Richie has created a running dynasty at Shadow Hills. Just records upon records, PRs, banners, trophies, you name it. And he has students who believe. That's the biggest thing. They just don't go out there and run. They just don't go out there and compete. They believe in what they do. And he has them believing in themselves. And last time I checked, he's got really intelligent students. He's not just a W kind of coach. You got to crack them books. And that's the guy. So, Richie, thank you for giving the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Always appreciate the support. It's been a long time since you and I have chatted. Would love to have you on the show when we ever bring back the Saturday show. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And by far, if you have a chance to follow him on Twitter, look him out, Richie Catamble, Coach Catamble, whatever it is on Twitter, and check out his Halloween post. Absolutely hysterical Halloween costume. Did a paid homage to the WWE Hall of Famer Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. Did a great job. Richie, that was for you, buddy. So Coach Catamble, great job this year with your runners at Shadow Hills. Fantastic job. So a lot of playoff runs came to a close tonight. A lot of playoff runs came close to the over the weekend, and we will try to keep you up to date and abreast of all of those. Just head over to prepsports_net on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook, prepsportsnet, and we will post some more stuff on YouTube in the coming weeks. Thank you guys so much for staying up with us on a late night here on Friday night, almost nearing Saturday morning. Don't forget, you can follow me on social media at Voice of Reason 23 on all social media platforms. There you go, right there, including YouTube. That's right, youtube.com/at Voice of Reason 23, at Voice of Reason 23 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. If you're feeling interested, at Voice of Reason 23/7 on TikTok. I don't post anything though. True Voice of Reason 23 on Twitch. We got some Twitch streams we'll be doing here pretty soon, and of course, I would be remiss if I didn't get a cheap plug in for the pop culture podcast that I co-host on the weekends, and that is at PS Comics I Love You. You can find that on all social media platforms, or you can download it wherever you download your podcast, or you can live stream us on Facebook Watch or on YouTube. We will be back next week. Halftime show and post-game show for La Quinta. They are left in it. They are Division 9, headed to the second round. They will take on, what did we say? They'll be taking on Laguna Beach. So, great. Congratulations, La Quinta, tonight. Good job. Well done. And we will see you next week. On behalf of everybody here, Sean Webb and everyone at the Devil's Hands Educational Foundation, want to say thank you also to Blake Arthur with KSQ. Want to say thank you to just everyone around the Coachella Valley who has done a fabulous job at covering high school sports, high school football this year. I mean, really and truly, couldn't do it without you guys, without your support. Really, really do appreciate everything that you guys do. So yeah, that is about going to wrap it up here. Getting some tweets in here, people saying thanks for covering high school sports. I appreciate the guys, all the tweets coming in. Thank you so much. So yeah, we will see you next week. We will cover that La Quinta game against Laguna Beach, and have a great night, guys. And we will see you. I'll leave the ticker on there if you want to get some more updates on the games. But again, special thank you as well to Craig Campbell and the staff over at CoachellaValley.com. And we will see you next week right here from the Prep Sports Net studios. Have a great night, guys.